say crier, I say liar, I say rise and hell, I stand gazing down at death as I say war, I rage war, I hate war. They say fight for peace, but war is flesh.
Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me, Morris in America, playing on the Korean version of Dragon Blades, and in this video, we'll be showcasing some of the builds that most people are using when it comes to the new Awaken Main Character skills. Now, I already did part 1 when I literally read all of the new Awaken abilities, but if you haven't checked that video, it should be like one of the recently uploaded videos, so go ahead and check my channel for that. Or if you can wait until the end of this video, it'll direct you to it, but it's just me reading off stuff. So if you were looking more for what most people have, this video is for you. Now, shoot. I will be using most of the builds coming off of the people in the Hall of Fame. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to referencing off of the Hall of Fame people, just keep in mind that you have to pay attention to what mode their build is specifically used for. Because, you know, in fight mode, there's like hero mode, there's world bosses, there's I think there's one for tag arena, there's one for guild adventures, there's one for guild wars. You just have to try to decipher this. But some of the builds are kind of the same throughout the entire board. Now, yeah, I'll be using the people from the Hall of Fame, and if you're watching this video and you're in the Hall of Fame, then congrats, I'm using your account to showcase some stuff. But let me just get started with this. Now, if I remember, there was one particular, no, they changed it, they reset it almost, actually, alright, let me use this one for example. So if I remember, I did start streaming way back. I was trying to record this yesterday, and the recording failed because I couldn't edit it properly, but yeah. If I remember, this person should have a lot of skills based around the keys. And as you can see here, this is the Awaken Mage character, and there's nothing in their active skill. Most of their skill points are used in their general passives and the key passives. Now, if your character is a key holder, you definitely want to do something like this. And if you're new to the game and you're wondering why are there points in the general passive, compared to the active passive, when you use a key, all of these active passives cannot be used. However, all of the general passives will be carried over to your character when they're equipping a key, or when they're using a key. So this is pretty useful. But yeah, and then you can also, at your own discretion, put however many points you want over here. But continuing on, this is the main Awaken Paladin. Now, I can state this with 100, well, most people that I was staring at in the Hall of Fame usually put all their points in the third active skill. And if you don't remember what that is, I'll definitely put in the link below, like the website where you can look at all the Awaken character skill. But this Awaken character skill is the Oath of Judgment. The master skill states, attack stance increases party attack plus 70% and skill attack plus 15%. And the defense stance for this increases party defense plus 70% and incoming AoE damage minus 15%. So this is very handy when it comes to being a team player. But moving on, yeah. As you can see here, they put a good amount of points in their key passive, and they decided to max out the third passive. The third passive being, what is it? Blessed Battle. This increases self-heal power plus 80% and skill damage plus 80%. And most likely this will increase depending on how many levels you go. So if you were to times that by, what, plus 80% with 10, it's going to be increased plus 800%. But I might be wrong with my math. Definitely put in the comments below. And also, If you have a different build or a recommended build for doing X, Y, and Z, you can also leave that in the comments below. But yeah, moving on, this is the Awaken Main Archer, and there's nothing in their active skills, but all of their points are in their passives. Yeah, most of them in the keys, and then they maxed out the entire general passives. Moving on to main Awaken Rogue character, there's nothing in his actives. A lot of points in his passives, his general passive and key passives. Now, this should be the warrior. Yeah, and his warrior does not have any skills in the active, but a lot of points in the first and second general passives, and a good amount of points in the key passives. And then he has a second warrior. Now the second warrior he has might be useful when it comes to Hero Arena or maybe Tower of Validation, because he maxed out the first active skill, and the first active skill for the warrior can actually has a chance to instant kill. Yeah, it has a chance to instant kill with 75% chance, so this is pretty handy in certain modes. And as you can see here, he decides to increase the first and second general passives. And apparently he has two priests, so I'll be looking at them too. Actually, I might be looking at all his characters, because it seems like he has different builds for all these characters. As you can see here, I think it's safe for me to say that all of the skills here are what most priests are using, if it's not directed more towards the keys. Like, they decide to ultimate everything, they don't actually get the master skill for the magnify. They decided to get the master skill for the third active, which is, what is it? The third active should be guidance. This increases the party immunity along with defense. But yeah, he also has another priest here, and I'm leaning towards, oh wait, this guy actually has a mastered, this is kind of like a balanced one, because as you can see here, he put a good amount of points in the keys as well, so I'm guessing this is kind of a balanced character between like magnification and key usage. And then there's another, I think that's a Paladin? Yeah. And the Paladin doesn't have anything over here, it's most likely directed towards, wait, it's nothing. Maybe he didn't put any points in this guy yet, but I think this mage is also empty, so he's just making a bunch of spare characters. But yeah, moving on, most likely this will be the last guy before I stop. But if I remember, this guy actually had a different build when it came to the Archer and Mage. For the Rogue character, however, I think it's the same, yeah. Maxed out his general passive and his key passives, because this character will be most likely used for keys. Now, when it comes to his Archer, he actually had, he or she, I don't know what is your gender, guys, so yeah, when it comes to his Archer, however, he decided to max out the Rain of Arrow active skill to master skill. Now, this is going to be very handy, and if you don't remember what the Archer's second active skill is, or the master skill for this, it deals 2,890% of attack to all enemies, removes all buffs including invincibility with 100% chance. Silences all enemies for 8 seconds, cooldowns 14 seconds, so this might be very handy when it comes to PvP, or maybe tower, well, I'm leaning more towards PvP, but I might be wrong, definitely correct me if in the comments below. But yeah, and he maxed out all of his general passives compared to the key passive, so the Paladin, as you can see here, has the same setup. His third active skill is maxed out, and his third general passive is maxed out. He did put points in his key passives. Now for his Awaken Mage character, he maxed out the Meteor Invocation, the second active skill. And if you don't remember what that does, the second active skill deals 1,711% of attack to all enemies, damage over time, damage 183% of attack for 16 seconds, and this is immune to Dispel. Cooldown is 20 seconds. Yeah, so that's what he did, and he put a lot of points in his first and second general passes, and put a good amount of points in his key passes as well. So I think this character is kind of balanced, because he can use it without the key, and then he can use it without the key. He can use it with a key and use it without the key. And then for his priest character, he has everything ultimate in the second active, and then he mastered out the third active, because that's guidance, and that gives party immunity and defense. And then he decides to max out his second active, almost max out, second general passive skill, almost max out his general first passive skill, and then put a good amount of points in the third one. And then lastly, his warrior character, yeah, he also put a good amount of points in his... He mastered his first skill because of that that instant kill chance. Then the third skill is the taunt. The second skill is shield bash. And then he put a good amount of points in his general passives. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I'll use this to wrap it up. But yeah, I'll be looking at this guy's character when I'm making my summary conclusion. But yeah, depending on what you're doing with your character, most likely you'll either be doing a bunch of general passive or key passives, or you put a good amount of points in your active skills. A lot of people here would be focusing a lot of points into their key passives, because literally your character will be using a key most of the time. Unless you're doing something like Hero Arena or Hero Tower Validation, then you might want to invest your points in some active skills. But yeah, a lot of people have a lot of points in their passive skills. Like passive and key skills. And when it comes to the Priest and Paladin, most likely, like, I think I just went by his Paladin. This is the Warrior, actually. Like, when it comes to the Paladin, most of the time they'll literally master the third active skill and the third general passive. Anything else is at your own discretion and your own call. But yeah, a lot of people focus a lot of stuff on their stuff. Now, I'm looking at the Hall of Fame people. Now, like I stated, most likely it's because of whatever they're doing. Like, if it's world boss stuff, they'll definitely want to put a lot of points into key passives and general passives, so they can have a lot more survivability and can dish out a lot more attacks. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, so thank you guys for watching. If you have a build that wasn't even shown in this video, and you want to recommend it or give a shout out to it, then put it in the comments below. But that's it, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.